Hello and welcome to the Rocket Review. It's Eddie and I'm running solo today. So back out now if you don't want to just deal with my stupid Okay, so today we have a really cool one. I found out about this at Distill America. Got to talk to the people who made it. Super cool. This is Old Sugar Distillery's Queen Jennie Sorghum whiskey. Why is that so cool? Because nobody's making whiskey out of sorghum. I mean, I guess there are some people, but it's not common, right? So sorghum is a grain pretty common in warm areas of the world, Africa, Asia, parts of Asia, I guess, the warmer parts, that is used, there's a species that's used as grain, for human consumption, and then there's another species that's used as like animal feed. But what's interesting about this is that it's not made from the grain portion of the plant, right? Which is weird, because you would think whiskey, it has to be made from grain, right? But it doesn't specify that it has to be made from the seed, the actual grain. The TTB says as long as it's a grain crop, right? And you make the liquor out of the grain crop, so in this case, the stalk of the sorghum plant, it's whiskey. So they're actually like mashing, they don't do their own mashing, they're getting syrup made out of stalk, like the stalks of the plant, and then they're fermenting that. Some people aren't fans of that. They're like, well, that makes it a rum, that makes it more like molasses. I don't think that's really a big deal. Like the rules for American whiskeys are already kind of ridiculous in a lot of ways and let people get away with some dumb bullshit. I don't think getting mad that someone's using a different part of the grain crop to make their whiskey is something we need to be getting particularly bent out of shape about. Especially if it tastes good. So, this is Old Sugar. It was named because they're actually making, some of their products are made from a sugar base. And it's called Queen Jennie, which is the name of a bootlegger from Madison, Wisconsin, where Old Sugar is located. Queen Jennie was Jennie Justo, but she was a bootlegger. Her old man got shotgunned to death when she was a kid because he was into crime. Then she started running speakeasies. And then when Prohibition ended, she became a legitimate businesswoman and opened up a restaurant and all sorts of stuff. So crime does pay is what I get to understand from that story. This is pretty sweet. It reminds me of, and I said this in our Distill America video, reminds me a little bit of Teddy Grahams. Like cinnamon Teddy Grahams or cinnamon and honey Teddy Grahams. With a little bit of fruitiness. Like fruitiness, but also like root beer? Yeah. It tastes like, it smells like my childhood. Teddy Grahams and root beer. And maybe a touch of like some sort of berry. I don't know, some sort of red berry. Cranberry, raspberry. It smells pretty good. It's a little sweet. So if you like sweeter whiskeys, smells pretty good. I tend to like them dry, but this is not overly sweet. This is a pretty good amount of sweetness for me. So, the other thing I should mention about this. So this was founded, Old Sugar was founded by Nathan Greenawalt. But they are actually using a special type of still designed down Alma, Arkansas by a guy named Colonel Wilson. And it's actually direct fired. No one does direct fire. This is direct fired with gas fed flame. No one does that anymore. Like there's a couple of Scotch distilleries, there's a couple of Japanese distilleries who are doing that, but it's so much easier to do a steam coil these days. But you don't get the caramelization of the sugars in there. It's much more time. It's like a pain in the because then you have to run a rummager in there, keep everything from burning. But that caramelization makes a difference. So let's get a taste. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. It's got this tart kind of appley, pineapple-y thing going on the taste, mixed with this sweet brown sugar, mixed with caramel. I mean, they're all pretty sweet things, but it's not cloyingly sweet. It's not painfully sweet. It's a good mixture of the sweeter things with some darker, richer flavors. They're doing this in charred oak, small barrels, so they're getting a lot of wood interaction. And it doesn't smell young at all. I don't know if there's an age statement on this, or considering that it's a sorghum whiskey, I don't know if they have to have an age statement or anything like that on it. But yeah, this is good. There's actually a little bit of something spicy coming out right now. What is that? Like just a hint of pepper or mustard seed or something like that. Just a touch, which just balances out that tart fruitiness. I like this one a lot. I am a fan of this one. I can see why some people might compare it to a rum, just because it does have an interesting kind of bittersweet thing, which I wonder if that comes from the way they are processing those stalks. You know, not dissimilar to molasses. So that's actually fun. I like a good rum. I like a good whiskey. This seems to have elements of both. They're kind of selling it as it doesn't have that really sour tang, you know, like a bourbon. You know, those corn-based whiskeys in New Oak can get like a sweet and sour sauce kind of thing going on, especially if they're younger. And it's not as harsh as a rye. It's somewhere in between. And I think that's a fair point, but it does seem to have its own thing going on. You don't run into a lot of whiskeys with this particular sweet, bready, tart, weird thing going on. And I dig it. I dig it like a spigot. So yeah, Old Sugar. I think we're going to be seeing more from them on the show. They've got some other whiskeys I would like to try. They're distilled from beer, which has been not always the best thing that I've tried, but maybe theirs will be better. So, yeah. But until next time, hopefully for the next videos, the old man or Erica will be back. I don't know where the old man is right now. Erica is tired and didn't want to drink tonight. I don't blame her for that. So you're stuck with me. And I guess tomorrow's video is probably going to be me too, because it's going to be an Irish one in Irish. So too bad you're stuck with my ass. But I love you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to help support the channel, consider finding us on Patreon. Links in the description. Stay rotten.